Hi guys, and welcome to the Harrogate vs Sunderland match review. So Sunderland have just won by 4-0 away from home against Harrogate in a pretty impressive display, the first half anyway, but of course we'll get into that. But firstly, as you can see, I do have the home shirt. If you follow me on Instagram or on Twitter, you would have seen that I've shown it off. I really like it, to be honest with you. I really like it. At first I was giving it a sort of like 7, 8, well, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 in the review, but now I've seen it in person and the fitting on it and everything for me, and the actual badge itself, it doesn't feel anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to. So I'll probably up it to a 9 because I do really like it. But anyway, that's going off topic a little bit. But getting into today's game, we had a little bit of a mix and match lineup, basically because we don't have any fullbacks apart from Dice, who didn't start. So we had Patterson in goal. We had Callum Doyle and Tom Flanagan at centre back. Now on right back we had Winchester. Left back we had Dan Neil. Now, in the middle, we had 09 and we also had Corey Evans as well. Now, the sort of three behind Ross Stewart, we had O'Brien, we had Jack Diamond, and we also had Embleton as well. So, getting into the game now, don't get me wrong, I actually thought for the first sort of opening 10 minutes, I thought we were really poor, and I was genuinely quite worried because Harrogate hit us with quite a high press, which can happen by any team, don't get me wrong, but when we were in possession, we were so sloppy, we were giving it away, and you could see that. And it was starting to frustrate me, that Dan Neil and Winchester, even though in general I do think they played quite well, but I think it took them a good 10 minutes or so to settle into the game because we were putting out a wide to either Neil or to Winchester, and then the ball was given away needlessly. Now, it wasn't just their fault, because just at the back in general, because of this high press from Harrogate, we looked so shaky, and you could tell that, with a higher quality side, with no disrespect to Harrogate, and we're going to face higher quality side than Harrogate, we could be in serious trouble if we don't get reinforcements at the back, and soon. A lot of people say that, Joe, you need to be patient, and, I get that, and I know we're taking this sort of more patient approach, but we have only, very little time left of pre-season before the first game of the season, and we want to try and get players in and bed them in, and at the minute, our strength in depth, well, it's not even strength in depth, it's literally just depth, and then there's barely any of that as it is, if that makes sense, and it's not a complaint, we've just won 4-0, but the opening 10 minutes did scare me a little bit because we looked severely inferior just from a team that had a bit of a high press. But as I say, they did have that high press for the opening 10 minutes. Had a couple of shots from range without really testing Patterson. And like I say, we did look a little bit shaky, and we're probably fortunate not to have really been tested a bit more. But after that 10 minutes, I feel like we started to get a bit of a foothold on the game. Embleton, for me, absolutely fantastic. And like I mentioned on social media, what he did essentially is what we haven't seen in the entire time we've been in League One, and that is a central midfielder of ours, actually asking questions of opposition central midfielders. He picked up the ball straight away, he's asking questions of them, he's facing them up, he's taken on one, taken on two, and he pinged it into the bottom right hand corner. It's a lovely finish, it's a gorgeous goal from Elliot Embleton, driving from the halfway line, and we never saw that with the likes of Scowen, Power, Ledbetter. Of course, I do give Ledbetter a little bit more leeway because he's more of a sitting midfielder, but the likes of Power and Scowen, you'd think they'd at least ask questions, but they don't. It was all sideways and backwards or hoof out of play, which I keep on saying. But, we kept on getting that with Embleton over and over again, and then quickly it was two. It was Embleton again. It was a nice little footballing moved him onto the right hand side. He cut him from right to left, hit it with his left foot because we know that Embleton can hit it with either foot. It does take a wicked deflection, but it definitely was going on target anyway. But easily, you could think that the keeper would more than likely do better had it not taken a wicked deflection. It loops over him and goes into top left hand corner. 2-0. I think that just really took the wind out of Harrogate's sails, because I feel like for quite a chunk there, for about 20-25 minutes, we looked very comfortable, playing the ball around really well, and eventually it did tell our domination. It was O'Brien, after some really good work from Diamond on the left hand side. He was really ruthless, and I love to see that. I feel like, I think the frustration with Diamond at times is how inconsistent he can be. You could have 2 or 3 games where you'll forget he's on the pitch and he gets subbed off because he's so ineffective. But then there's certain games where he just seems so up for it. And, against a side like Harrogate, who he was, of course, he did really well for them a season or two ago when he went out on loan there. And I felt like he looked like a player with something to prove there. On that left-hand side, he was absolutely terrorising him. Every time he gets the ball, he looks up, bang, go. Do you know what I mean? He was asking questions so direct, running at him. having Potts at goal, getting decent crosses in. But yeah, it started off with Diamond for this third goal. Nice little play. Gives it into O'Brien. And O'Brien, it was relatively quiet. He was coming deep a few times to come and collect the ball, but wasn't really getting into the game as much as you maybe would have liked. A strike or two. But then O'Brien did pick up the ball. It was a lovely weighted pass into Winchester, who gets hold of the ball and slips it into the keeper to make it 3-0. Now, for the final sort of 5 minutes, that first half, it was a little bit more scrappy, but we were definitely on top. 3-0 at half time, which is brilliant. Now, again, this is something we keep on seeing, and we saw it in the league, not just the friendlies that we've seen, or the pre-season friendlies we've seen so far. The second half we come out and we just look like a different side. I feel like the tempo just drops considerably, and it's as if the players just start really treating it like a friendly. And it does become sort of testimonial pace. Don't get me wrong, there's still some nice passing moves. And Ross Stewart, for me, I do feel sorry for him actually, because a couple of times he was slid through on goal early in that second half. One of them, he was kind of coming away from goal anyway, and the keeper, it was harder for him to score anyway, because it was put out wide, moving away from goal. Keeper gets down low, makes himself big. It's a good save. And another time, he was pretty much one-on-one with the keeper, but his first touch takes it away from goal, and he's on his weaker left foot. Keeper saves it, but he comes back to him, and he's tried to slide it into what is basically an empty net from a relatively harsh angle, but their defender gets back on the line and gets it away. But then after that, we made the whole host of changes that, for me, I understand it's pre-season, you're going to do it, but for me, it does generally kill the game off in terms of the tempo and the way the game is approached by the players in general. The loads of players started coming on like Dice, Richardson, Ellis Taylor, Kimpioka, Younger, Will Grigg. And it's good to see these players, but when it really just ruins the dynamic of the game. It maybe just slowly drip feed the players on, but when you throw 4, 5, 6 players on at a time, it does kind of ruin the flow of the game a little bit. But we did make it 4. And it was Ellis Taylor who had the ball down at the byline. He tried to put the ball in, takes a deflection. The keeper's made an absolute mess of it. It just give me flashbacks to Dubravka in the Euros, where it's kind of just gone under the bar, but he's just pressed it and pushed it into his own goal, parried it into his own goals, and it was given as an own goal as well. So 4-0. We did make another sort of chance where our ball is put in. Really, really good ball. I think it was from Richardson actually, and Grigg, completely free header. I don't think he realised how much space he had, and he just kind of glanced across his head. The kind of thing we've seen a million times with Will Grigg. Kimpioka, for me, he didn't necessarily impress me, although we did just have a couple of balls just punted at him, and just to try and make something happen from there. But like I say, it just kind of lost the flow of the game, and for the last sort of 15 minutes or so, we actually thought Harrogate was probably just about the better team. We just looked a little bit sloppy. We weren't keeping hold of the ball. There was no one there to dominate because we made so many subs. But all in all, it's a really, really good run out. 4-0. But for me, the strength in depth, it has to be seen to, and rapidly. And this isn't me saying rush signings, but it's currently the 24th, and we've only made 3 signings. We have no fullbacks at all at the club. We definitely need someone else up top as well, with Ross Stewart up top. Give him a hand. Ross Stewart, for me, and I saw a couple of people be really, really critical of Ross Stewart, and I felt very harsh on him, because I felt like you can see that the potential's there. He just needs to get that first goal under his belt before the season, and I think he'll be absolutely fine, because even if he does miss a chance, he's not hiding away from it like certain strikers have with us in the past. He's looking really good. If the ball isn't coming to him for a bit, he comes deep and he gets involved with the play. He makes brilliant runs off the ball. He's quick, makes some really nice touches, and he's getting those chances. He's getting quite a few chances that he is actually creating off his own back. He's not being, he's not holding our whole system to ransom, because you can only get the ball to him in a good position if you play a certain way, and you get it out wide and ping balls into the box. And for someone who's 6'4" or however big he is, he's massive. He can do a lot more than just head the ball. He's got a lot more to his game, and I think we've still got a lot more to see from Ross Stewart, so I'm quite excited about that. But as I say, there's a lot of work to be done within this side. We need a striker, a winger potentially. We definitely need a centre-back or two, and a left and a right-back as well. But I'm sure that there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I know that KLD was there today. He was sat there in the stands in his arms folded with his shades on. He looked like a Bond villain, which was it was quite funny to see. But yeah, all in all, of course, it's a good run out. I'm not complaining too much. It's a 4-0 win, do you know what I mean? But you would expect, with no disrespect to Harrogate, to win those kind of games, and it's good that we were, in the final third, we looked really, really good, and we did make many chances. But at the back, it terrifies me at the moment. It really does. I mean, of course, you've got the young lad who's just constantly bailing everyone out, and he's looked fantastic. A few times, he'd pick up the ball in an awkward situation, Callum Doyle, and he'd literally just skin one or two players before making an inch-perfect pass out wide. Whereas, you know, Flanagan, you know, he's okay at times. He can just about maybe do a job, but he's definitely not for me. He's not centre back who should be playing for a team who are meant to be going for, you know, the league or promotion in general, because he struggles to judge the bounce. He struggles to judge diagonal balls in general. I feel like he just really struggles, and the young lad was just constantly bailing him out. And of course, Winchester and Dhannoo, like I say, they did okay considering it's not their natural position, right back and left back. But I don't want to see Dhannoo in there. Dhannoo, for me, I'm a massive fan of him. I want to see Dhannoo playing in the centre. I want to see Winchester being given a good run in the centre. And he must be frustrated, Winchester, because he's probably thought, you know, we've got rid of all these midfielders in Power, Lebbert, Scowen. Now it's my time to shine. I really want to solidify my place in centre mid. And now he's played all the pre-season at right back because we have none. Do you know what I mean? It must be so frustrating. Obviously, it's been the same for O'Nien. He's had to do exactly the same thing. We need players, and we do need them quick. Now it has been, or there was a big rumour that was coming out yesterday that apparently we've actually had 4 bids, or we've put in a 4th bid for Key, right back for Exeter, I believe. And I didn't know a massive amount about him. I actually had heard of him, but I don't know a massive amount about him. I looked him up though, and I looked at Exeter's their sort of reviews of him, and they absolutely love him. They said that last season in particular was absolutely fantastic. And I was shown a load of clips yesterday evening. I had a look through a load of clips. And going forward, I didn't see too many defensive scenario clips of him. But apparently, according to Exeter fans, he's very, very good defensively. He's only 20-21 as well. But going forward, he looks exactly what we need. You know, he looked like an absolute beast from some of the clips I've seen. You know, getting involved, getting balls in, and just driving at left midfielders and left backs as well, and just getting involved in the play, nice little link up and 1-2s. Just a typical right wing back that you would want. But yeah, so we finished 4-0. Happy with that. It's a good run out. Some good encouraging play in the final third. But as I say, a lot needs to be done in the transfer market, and it does need to be done soon. I don't want us to rush it, but we'll see anyway. So my throat's in bits at the moment. So I'll love you and leave you there, guys. A decent run out, as I say. So what did you think of the game? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sassy Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.